Okay, e-Niro Diaries on the 16th of July. Um, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're just about to start off on a journey down to the Ardèche, which is 560 kilometres, so about 320, 330 miles. Charged the car overnight and cleaned it yesterday, so it needed a clean. The gasometer says the range is 556 kilometres, but that's because our long run average over the last 4,500 kilometres has given us about 13.5 kilowatt hours per 100, which for this journey is not going to be very realistic. So what we're doing, we're heading east for about 3 hours for about 250k. On a mixture of Route Nationale and some dual carriageway, and then we get to head south around Montluçon, Clermont-Ferrand, and towards the Rhone Valley into all these lovely canyon lands of the Ardèche, and there's a lot of climbing and some quite fast auto routes. So we've got a couple of charging stops planned, because we need to refuel and rest the human machine. So let's see how it goes. So our first stop, we've done 224 kilometres, and we arrived at this charging station with 56% battery. This charging station is very complicated, the way they do the charging. If you're a member of this e-Born network, you can charge for free if you pay 42 euros a year, up to a maximum of 250 kilowatt hours a month. Well, that's a lot of kilowatt hours, that's a lot of driving. So what we're actually paying for a rapid charger is 49 euro cents per kilowatt hour. It's supposed to be a 50 kilowatt charger. We're actually getting 37 on the car at the moment. So we're probably just going to be here for 30 minutes, just have some lunch. There is a McDonald's over there, which we don't need for eating, but they've got toilets and they've got Wi-Fi. So we started, say, with a range of showing of 556 kilometers. Obviously we've been on, initially the roads were really slow, and Mrs. e-Niro was driving and was fantastically economical. Then it got faster when I was driving, and we got onto some motorways, and we're up to about 13.914 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. So not too bad. This will be enough to get us all the way. We've got another 340k to do. Masks. So just had a 40-minute stop and used pretty much the most disgusting McDonald's I've ever seen in France. It wasn't very good. Most people wearing masks, but toilets weren't working properly. Nothing was, dryer wasn't working, toilets were broken. Anyway, we had a cup of tea and we got up to 88% battery, which the range is saying 474 kilometres, so that will be enough to get us where we're going. We're probably going to have another stop on the way, because still got another, I just don't know, about another 4 hours of driving, and we're going to be going up into the mountains, so we may use a lot more power. We'll see. Been pretty economical so far, say 13.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres, but I'm sure that's going to drop on fast up and down motorways. We'll see. So We charged up to 88% and thought we had lots of range, but we got into some motorways that were very mountainous, and we used a lot more power than we thought. So we're still, I don't know, 130 kilometers away from our destination. We've got 79 kilometers left on the gasometer, and we're going to a place called Mende, which is a little town deep in the sort of Massif Central of France. I don't know, where are we? The Cantal region, I think we're in. And it's beautiful, beautiful countryside. Nothing much on the roads here. I'm running the car for the first time in Eco Plus mode. So we should be okay. We're going for a charging point which is 22k away, and I've got 77 on the remain. Too bad. We'll see if there is really a rapid charger in this middle of nowhere place. We'll find out soon. So I've driven 50 kilometers in an hour through these valleys and mountains, and the last 10 kilometers is mostly downhill. I've actually only used 1 kilometer of range. Every time you get to a bend, you lift off the throttle, and it regens. We're going to start to go up a hill now, but this is still got another 58 kilometers to go to get where we're going. There's very little traffic on the road. It's a hell of a turn. And got into a post by the side of the road. We're about 700 meters above sea level here, and obviously these mountains up above us are somewhat higher. Lovely smooth roads though, great driving, and the surprising thing is how well this is taking the bends. I've got a Mercedes SL who's been behind me for about the last 15-20 kilometers, and he, although he wouldn't really be able to get past me anyway, he's certainly not. Initially he started pushing hard up behind me, but this car is a very low centre of gravity. Obviously if it was a sports car with a big battery underneath it, it would be a lot better, but it doesn't do badly. The big thing is how much braking you get just from lifting your foot. Like now, coming to this bridge, I haven't touched the friction brakes. Oh, look at this. I don't think I've touched the friction brakes for about 50 kilometers. It's just... So we just got back from the beach, well, the river, a lovely swim, and this is a brand new office de tourisme with rows and rows of parking, all covered with solar panels, and there's supposed to be a rapid charger here, but there's 4 points for mid-level charging. We're at 38%. Just going to take 6 hours 50 to get to 100%. Going to go and feed Mrs. e-Niro. Hello. Hello. So after all that fantastic swim in the gorge, we're back to the charge point again. Same place we were last night. We gathered about 30% while we were having dinner, but we want to get up to 100% for tomorrow for the journey home. We're at 63% now. It says it's going to take 4 hours to get to 100%, so we've got plenty of time before we leave tomorrow. The thing is, these chargers, there's 4 of them here. This one says it's occupied when there's no one there, as it did yesterday when we charged here. And then I thought I'd try one of the other 2, and I couldn't get either of these to work just now. Just thought they both say they're available. It's this queue up, waving your card in front of a reader, and it just wouldn't read it. I don't know. In the end, I didn't use the ChargeMap card. I used just my bank card, and that seemed to do it. So even though these are supposed to be ChargeMap compatible, so yeah, there's still a lot to do. Ardèche Energies. Together, we travel electric. Yeah, well. In regen mode, coming down from the Ardèche mountains. Took us an hour to do the first 45 kilometers. It's slow going. Had spectacular views, and we've got 570 kilometers to get home from when we started, and back there when we were climbing, on this road, we went from 15 kilowatt hours 100 kilometers to 20, and we're going downhill now, so it's falling back 18.4. We're heading for a charging point that we may not need actually, but we're going to charge anyway. It's another 110 kilometers. We've done 83 since we left. It's a bit of a toss-up whether you try to charge there and then get all the way home, which in theory you should have enough range, but of course when we get on the motorways the efficiency goes down. What was interesting, we started at the bottom of the climb, but the temperature was 28°C and it was only like 10:30 in the morning, and it's now 21 up here, so, and it's just forests sort of reminiscent of some parts of the USA where I've driven. Oregon, maybe. Yeah, so not yet 2 hours into our journey home. We've only done 84 kilometres, but this is the kind of roads we're on, and it's pretty busy. A lot of tourists, as you'd expect. So the other thing we've noticed climbing in the car, it's just effortless. I haven't had to use the brake. I haven't had to use the brakes at all going down. You know, when we came in on Friday, we had a similar. It was a different route, but it was very, very bendy and lots of climbs and lots of descents. Never had to use the brakes at all. Just either the one foot, and on occasions, on very tight bends, use the left-hand paddle just to pull it back a bit. But the climb we've just done, switched the aircon off, opened the window, and there was smell of burning brakes from the guys going the other direction. Makes you realise how much you're saving in the electric car in terms of being able to control the speed purely with the right foot. I mean, I've got the regen is on auto, and obviously it's sensing the kind of speeds we're doing in the up and down hill, and it's currently on maximum regen. We've got 30. This in the distance, you can see the extinct volcanoes of the Auvergne. We're heading towards the Auvergne now, out of the Ardèche. So that's another different kind of landscape. We've been through that before. It's lovely, but smell of burning brakes, not good. Okay, so we just gone down an 1100 from a summit of 1100 meters. Lots of warning signs saying use your engine braking in lots of different languages. Not a problem, of course. Electric car. At the top there, I was at like 15.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I'm now at 13.9. We've been going downhill for, I don't know, about 7-8 kilometers. Fantastic scenery. We've actually added 5 or 6 kilometers. We've actually put 6 kilometers range on the car by going downhill about, I don't know, it's more like 8. It's just been continuous downhill and lots of warning signs. Haven't used the brakes once, all on one foot. Yeah, I mean, in a petrol car or diesel, I'd have been in third gear and touching the brakes every so often. There's 7% incline coming down from the top of that mountain back there, so and we are about 46 kilometers from where we're going to plug in. It's wonderful roads, very smooth, big open spaces all around us. So, time for another really interesting hat. It's actually very hot. We've done 180 kilometers through the mountains, taken 3 hours. Roads were superb, views were amazing, but we didn't really make much progress. There were a few bits where you could get up to about 70, 80 kilometers an hour, but it was pretty slow. A lot of climbing, a lot of descending, as we saw before. Now we're at this charger now that's in the weirdest place. It's about 1 kilometre away from the main autoroute. We've got onto the autoroute now, and the scenery is fantastic, but there's just a supermarket over there which is closed because it's Sunday. It's France, they don't open on Sunday. A kind of a garage repair place,
an ambulance station,
and an ambulance station. There's absolutely nothing here apart from this see the motorway there. So there's absolutely nothing here apart from this charger. So We arrived with 62% of battery and about 330 of range. We need another 438 kilometres to get home, and it's going to be motorway, so it won't be so efficient as it has been. This charger, strangely, is 60 kilowatts. I've never come across one with 60 kilowatts. And when we plugged in, it was initially, the car was taking 48. It's slowed right down now. We're just going to take it to 90. That should be enough to get us home, depending on how efficiently we drive. But goodness knows why they don't just put them on the auto routes. You know, because it's very cheap. It's just under 10 euro cents a kilowatt hour, so it's not going to cost us very much. Yeah, we've only been here about 20-25 minutes. It's almost done. So yeah, what an amazing place, the Puy de Dôme. This is the region of the Puy de Dôme in the Auvergne. All these extinct volcanoes.
Are you an extinct relic?
Which I feel at home being a bit of a relic myself. Gosh, it's warm. So we're back home now after a 4-day trip to the Ardèche, which I hope you enjoyed watching. The stats are that we covered 1,220 kilometres in 4 days. Really, we should have gone for a week because there's so much to see over there, but it's just the way things worked out. And on the way back, we did a lot better in terms of charging. We timed it better, and I arrived home with 13% on the battery and an indicated range of 61 kilometres. We went from a high of 20 kilometres per 100 kilowatts when we were 20 kilowatts per 100 kilometres when we were climbing up in the Ardèche mountains, but we averaged out over the journey back, say it's about 565 each way, I think. We averaged out at 13.3, and that's with on a very hot day. It's when we got home at 7 o'clock, it was still 33. It's really warm. So yeah, not bad. It's a wonderful place. Recommend to anybody who watches this to go visit the Ardèche, the canyons, the rivers, fantastic scenery, great food, as you tend to get in France anyway. And yeah, thank you for watching.